last enemy and face somewhere hands and the benefit of the day. He never had a chance. Hey, this the shit that they beg for. That burned out the wicked judge dread flow. Bitch, I am the law. Your face prepared for war. I'm gon' war to the day I'm done. Number one to the day I'm done. I'ma grind till the day is done. I'ma war to the day I'm done. They can't stop me. Nothing new up under the sun. I'm gon' war to the day I'm done. Number one to the day I'm done. I'ma grind till the day is done. I'ma war to the day I'm done. They can't stop me. Nothing new up under the sun. I see what they say. Never envy a carnal man. Claim they real, they actions don't match what they saying. I got the upper hand, what you don't understand, youngin'. I'd rather bleed than concede. Now they're saying something. These niggas cunning. They want my power, they never take it from me. Hey, for that money, I heard you insisting. They can't go out like that. They'll have to 86 me quickly. I speak the truth, so they try to afflict me. I'd rather be afflicted than live perfidiously. Seriously, shit. I've been working hard, just broke up a while ago. Know I bring them soldiers in the building like the Alamo. Hey, this the shit that they beg for. That burned down the wicked judge dread flow. Bitch, I am the law. Don't face it, prepare for war. Yeah, but what's till I'm done, motherfucker? War to the day I'm done. Number one to the day I'm done. I'ma grind till the day is done. I'ma war till the day I'm done. They can't stop me. Nothing new up under the sun. I'm gon' war till the day I'm done. Number one to the day I'm done. I'ma grind till the day is done. I'ma war till the day I'm done. They can't stop me. Nothing new up under the sun.
All right, just come on up to the door. All right, go. He coming up now. Not right this minute, just wait till he knock on the door. Yeah. Shalom is real. Clap it up, y'all. Scripture breakdown, you heard? We're gonna get it on in here tonight, man.
General Hyman will be in Baltimore within the next 2 weeks. So it's either going to be next Thursday or the next Thursday. So I'm going to make that announcement sometime this week. Captain Shot going to get back to me on that. But look, Baltimore is insane, man. There's a couple of things going on in Baltimore. It's nothing new, but black people haven't learned, man. Black people haven't learned a goddamn thing. We still going to the polls. We still voting for the same people that then put us in this conundrum, and they keep saying the same things. We need something new in Baltimore. We're gonna curb the crime in Baltimore. It's a mayor's race going on right now because the last mayor, of course, was Catherine Pugh, and Catherine Pugh had to resign under these scandals. She was involved in bribes. She was involved. She had these Healthy Holly books, and she was getting the contractors to purchase these Healthy Holly books, and she was getting kickbacks from it, and then giving contracts to people who didn't deserve the contracts. So, of course, that trickled down to the regular consumers in Baltimore. So now, people that work for the city, people that work for different institutions, what they had to do was deal with higher costs, higher health costs. You know what I'm saying? Because Catherine Pugh wanted to put money in her own goddamn pocket. Now we at this conundrum of choosing another mayor. And when I went online, man, I saw some absolutely disgusting things, man. And I'm gonna go over that with y'all tonight. And look, we are the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out in 1 West 125th Street up there in Harlem, New York. We're under Commanding General Yohana. Commanding General Yohana is a rebel, man. He is the only black leader for black people. To vote is retarded, man. Look, to vote is like a catch-22. And guess what? There's scriptures in the Bible that talks about this. That's why the Bible is so powerful, man. And the men that break this Bible down absolutely have to be prophets, because everything in this Bible is dealing with what we going through right now in Baltimore today. Look. Now, what I wanted to show y'all was this one particular person that's running for mayor and how absolutely disgusting he is. And he wants to murder black children, man. I read up on some of the promises that he talking, some reforms that he's talking about making. And brother, I promise you, this man hates black children. He hates black people. And black people have him right now as the front runner because of the black vote in Baltimore. It's always traditionally been Democrat, of course. It's just a Democratic town. The Democrats are absolute criminals, race criminals. They look, the Democrats are gangsters, man. And they have done absolute war crimes against black people in Baltimore. They have committed war crimes here, man. Absolute war crimes. One of those crimes, you remember when Donald Trump said he was going to bomb the cultural centers of Iran, excuse me. Everybody got pissed off. Like, that's a war crime. You cannot bomb the cultural and religious centers of another community, right? Of another country. That's breaking international law, right?
Oh, they destroyed our cultural centers. They destroyed the cultural centers for black people. I got you. They destroyed the cultural centers for black people. It's a war crime. They put dope in our communities. That's also a crime that was covered at the Geneva Convention for putting so much crack in black communities and poisoning Baltimore. Baltimore is a port city. They have poisoned Baltimore with so much heroin, crack, and marijuana filled with fentanyl that is killing so many goddamn people. It is a war crime. Chemical warfare is a war crime. To poison people in that way, with all of the lead poisoning going on in Baltimore, Freddie Gray was a victim of that. He was a victim of the goddamn lead poisoning, which pushed him to be in the life that he was in. Well, guess what? All of that is covered in the Bible. We're going to prophesy tonight. You had something before I moved on?
You said it's a war crime to bomb their cultural centers. And I read online where a brother doing 10 years in prison for defacing, vandalizing the Robert E. Lee statue down south.
Doesn't surprise me. Doesn't surprise me. Of course.
Robert E. Lee, the
General
Lee, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so the Confederate Army. It doesn't surprise me. White folks take their history very seriously. They tell us to forget about ours. Of course, we have to forget in order to get along. But they take theirs so seriously that the previous slave abusers of black people, torturers of black people, of course, all have statues. Even in Baltimore, they took some of them down, they're still here. Even in Baltimore, white folks take their culture so seriously that the white Jewish man, he has a $6 million Holocaust memorial right here in Baltimore, down on Monument Street. $6 million they spent doing it. That Holocaust ain't happened in America. My Holocaust happened in America. My Holocaust still happening in America. And we gonna get into that. Now about this disgusting candidate for mayor, I'm gonna tell you his name. He's an East Indian. He's an East Indian. I'm gonna get his name. 1 second, brother. And then I'm gonna get you the scriptures to prove what I'm talking about. His name is Daru Vignaraja. Daru Vignaraja. He's from Sri Lanka. This cat is from Sri Lanka. He's an East Indian. He's an immigrant. And his stance is that immigrants are the ones that make Baltimore. What Third Root don't understand is that all the businesses and all the opportunities that East Indians have in Baltimore were previously occupied by black people. They didn't create any new businesses. They didn't bring any new ideas to Baltimore. They just simply usurped the businesses that were already there because they just came in with a bag full of money, a bag full of resources, and a bag full of backing from their own country and this country, and they were able to usurp all the businesses in Baltimore, meaning take over all of those businesses in Baltimore. Because of course, white people have built something called the burbs or the suburbs. So when white people moved out of the city to the suburbs, they took all the resources with them. And they left us to starve and die. But guess what? We built businesses. We built a thriving economy. we was able to live with some sort of, some sort of prosperity here. What happened is white people started to come back, and they always owned the land. They always owned all of the land in Baltimore. So all of the stores and all of the businesses that were open were basically, those stores were owned by white folks. So when they decided to come back and take everything, because what we don't do is go into self-reliance and ownership. We've never understood what resources mean. We opted for social integration instead of the resources that we need in order to sustain ourselves. Number two, we can get all that. Now back to this third rule. One of the most disgusting things that he said was his plans for the Squeegee boys. Now, I don't know if people outside of Baltimore know about Squeegee boys. I mean, they probably do, but it's a big controversy in Baltimore. Squeegee boys. All right. Let me tell you what Squeegee boys are. What's going on out? Shalom. Duh, my man. My main ass crap. Look, let me tell you what Squeegee boys are. Squeegee boys are young black kids between the ages of 9 to 15. And these are disenfranchised young children. They're not, of course, not going to school. But what they do is they hang out outside on the main road, on the medium. And when you stop at the red light, they run out with a squeegee in a bucket. They dip the squeegee in the soap, and they ask you, do you want your windshield washed off? You understand? This is a way of them making a little bit of income, getting a damn zebra cake, a little Debbie, or whatever they need to sustain themselves. Because, of course, they're disenfranchised. The dope that white America put into Baltimore to destroy it worked. The crack worked. Taking the businesses, giving them to the Chinese, the East Indian, and the Arab, it worked. Criminalizing black people, it worked. Mass incarcerating, privatized prisons, juvenile facilities, they all worked. They filled all the facilities to capacity with the fathers, the mothers, the uncles, the prominent people in the community now became crackheads. Now these children are the disenfranchised children that everybody failed. These are the squeegee kids that's on your street. That's on the street of Baltimore. When white commuters come through, they see him as a nuisance, as a criminal. As look, I was reading the comments on the stories that I'm about to read to you in a few minutes on the stories, and white people are saying things like, they are the scum of the earth, they are public nuisance, they need to be dealt with, they need to be arrested. I told them not to wash my windows, they put the soap and the stuff on my windows. These are the disgusting comments of white folks after they become so rich off of the degradation of black people. They want our children locked up and dead. That's what they want. And Theru is the man to do it for them. And look, he's not quiet about it or underground about it or lying about it. He's right out with it. You know what he said? I'm going to make it illegal for them to have buckets and squeegees. See, you can't in this day and time come right out and say, I'm going to criminalize black kids. So you gotta make what they do illegal. The social function engage in, you have to make illegal. The things that they do for money, you have to make illegal. That way, you can criminalize them without saying it's about race. When Baltimore also has an issue with panhandling white people. Nobody ever mentions that. White people all the time your car, running up to your person, asking you for money. And this is the funny thing. And this vexed me for a long time. This is funny as hell. This is what I could not understand for a long time, bro. Why do white people come to poor, black, disenfranchised neighborhoods to beg for money? I never understood it. I mean, look, this was such a conundrum to me that I would go to different generals and ask them the same question. Not that I thought that they was lying or they didn't know. It was just that I couldn't accept the answer. I didn't understand it. Why would these people come here? Surely they could go to a wealthy white neighborhood, they're white, and say, I need some money. Wouldn't they give them $50, $60 instead of a couple of cents or change you could get from a black person? It was completely illogical to me until I was in the UPK for a number of years. Then I understood, where the hell else would they go? Of course they're here. Because we love them. We love them. I've seen big hat Christians pass poor black people and give white people the money. Because to them, you don't belong out here doing this. Let me give you something so you go in the house. But the black person, you want drugs. You don't want nothing. You're lazy. That's Christianity. And that's what has affected the minds of black people, man. And we run into this voting booth to vote for Thuru Vignarajah from Sri Lanka. He Sri Lanka because he was poor and disenfranchised. But he has no mercy, no empathy for black kids who are poor and disenfranchised. Hold on for 1 second. I got this damn password off my phone. That's what I need to do. Hold on for 1 second. We gonna talk about voting, man. Matter of fact, what was it? Give me Deuteronomy 7 and 15.
7 and 18.
Lazar, give me that. I'm gonna let the Bible talk for a minute.
Deuteronomy. What was it?
7 and 15. We gonna understand how dumb and retarded and stupid it is for us to be sitting up here voting, and it is even more stupid for us to vote another nation of people over us. If black people can't even have empathy for black people, what do you think these heathens gonna do? This heathen gonna do when he get in the office, and he not even hiding the fact that he wants to criminalize our children. He not even hiding it, man. He coming out with it. They are a public nuisance and need to be eradicated. This is the language, huh? Do you know what eradicated means? We go, let's get the scripture. Deuteronomy 17 and 5. I think everybody know what that means. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 17, verse 5. Then shalt thou bring forth that man or that woman which shall committed that which wicked thing unto thy gates.
7 and 15.
Slack, sir. I got 17. I'm sorry. Slack.
7 and 15. Man, no sweat. The Lord's going to tell you about voting. Who should be over you, who should not be over you, what you should do, how you should do it, how people are going to be placed over you. It damn sure ain't going to be by voting. I think I hear the door. I think I hear the door. Go ahead. You go ahead and read that. Get that for me, please.
Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 15. And the Lord will take away from thee all sickness and will put none of the evil diseases of Egypt.
You got 7 and 15?
Come on. This Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 15.
Oh, shit, I messed up. Excuse me. Deuteronomy 17 and 15.
Oh, it is 17?
Yeah, that's what's 17 and 15. That's my bad. Yeah, Deuteronomy 17 and 15. See what the Lord say, man. What you had down with that?
I had Deuteronomy 28:43, sir.
Oh, we'll get back to it.
Okay.
Let me get this first.
All right, this is Deuteronomy chapter 17, verse 15. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom the Lord thy God shall choose.
Whom what?
The Lord thy God shall choose.
Negro. Lord thy God shall choose. Not you choose, you vote. Because let me tell you how dumb voting is, man. And how much of a waste of a goddamn good day voting is. Everybody that joins with this system works for this system.
Right.
And to understand what this system is, we got to look at the roots of the system. The system was built off of the blood and the bone of black people. The system was maintained by the exploitation of black people. And I'm not talking about slavery. What the hell you think mass incarceration and privatized prisons is? What happened when that happened? America needed capital. Why? Because America was dealing with the Cold War at the time. America needed capital. America was in a Cold War with Russia. Russia, who has twice the landmass, twice the resources, twice the people, twice the military forces, and had technology that was just as comparable to America's. That's why there were two superpowers in the world. America is dealing with a country that has twice the resources. How did America defeat that superpower that had twice the resources, twice the people, twice the landmass? America has something Russia does not have. Slaves.
Right.
Of the 12 tribes of Israel. Who generated so much money in such a short time, America was able to outpace Russia and tear down that wall, break Russia, shatter Russia in two with the amount of military spending. Brother, how did they outpace Russia like that? They dope and crack in every black community in America. That's what they did. Wouldn't matter who the hell you voted for, man. Ronald Reagan, to this day, is a hero to white people. They're hero because he destroyed their true enemy. It wasn't Russia, brother. It wasn't Russia. Ronald Reagan came out and admitted that he knew that the CIA was putting dope in every black community. Brothers, is on the internet, is on The CIA files have been declassified for that era. So you can go read it. You know, I didn't bring it out. I was going to bring it out. I might put it on a big screen one day, but you can go and read it. This is what we don't understand. Every candidate that steps on that stage, including Barack Obama, are part of the system. And we're going to read that in the Bible too. Next, let's finish with this one. Go ahead.
One from among thy brethren shalt thou set.
Whoa. One from amongst who?
Thy brethren.
What the hell is you trying to put Theru Vignaraja over you for? You a Christian, you follow the Bible, right? Read it again.
One from among thy brethren.
One from among thy brethren. Meaning one from among thy flesh. And this is one that the Lord is going to put over you. And there are some specific rules in this. Keep reading.
Come. Shalt thou set king over thee.
Shalt thou set king over thee. It's very simple. The Lord is going to choose who's over you. One from amongst your own brethren. Who is over us and is amongst our own brethren? I got too many officers for a hand not to be raised. Ricard? Christ. Christ is amongst our own brethren. Rightfully the King of Israel. Christ. And until his return, there is but one man that has been given the authority to lead this nation. There is but one. You can't go out and create your own group and say we in the truth. Can't do that. Because the authority over Israel was given to one man, was appointed to one man. You can't say, I don't like what's going on here. I'm going to go over here and do my own thing. You haven't been given the authority by decree of God. The Lord was in the midst of Israel coming back. If you understand that and you believe that, then you must concede to the point that Commanding General Yohanan is the leader of Israel. Because he was appointed by the seven, no one else. He was appointed by the head, no one else. No one else had a decree to go out and form anything. This is one body. Read on.
Come. Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee.
Thou mayest not set what?
A stranger over thee.
It goes deeper. It goes more entail, more intense. You ain't supposed to set no stranger over you. Strangers are people of other nations, man. You ain't supposed to set their rule over you. Black people, this is what we don't understand. If you go in there and set this East Indian over you, he's going to create crime. Look, we don't understand the rhetoric that they're talking about. This East Indian is saying, we're going to make a better Baltimore. That does not translate into being a better Baltimore for black. Because we are not a part of this system. We are exploited by this system. In order to make Baltimore better, he must find more efficient ways to destroy black people. so that they can create more revenue. Criminalizing squeegee kids is a start. It's already in motion. The governor, what's his name? Hogan. Governor Hogan. I wish he had died of cancer. That wasn't right. Salaki. That's Salaki. That wasn't right. I wish he would have died of cancer for real. That ain't right. All right. Check it out. He's building another juvenile facility. He built 2 juvenile facilities, man. And he didn't have the numbers to even fill them a third of the way. He didn't have the numbers, but he created the numbers and he filled them to capacity. And they have another juvenile facility in the cards. Daru Vignaraja is the man to fill up that facility. He's the man to do it. That's why they got him up there as the front runner. He don't have to give a damn about black people because we never held black people accountable for the corruption and and having no empathy for our children who was dealing with so much trauma at such a young age. How are you in the street, on the medium, in the street, running up the cars to strangers to ask them to wipe their windows? There's 3 squeegee kids that I know of that have been killed by traffic accidents. 3 that I know of, is probably more. These are disenfranchised black children that never had a chance, brother. They're 10 years old. They're 10 years old. It doesn't break the heart of white people when some pre-teenager, 10 years old, runs up to their car and puts some soap on their window. They are a public nuisance to them. I want them dead. I've even seen white folks push their car a little bit harder so the children have to get out the way. The words they use, the rhetoric they use, they have no empathy whatsoever. That's also in the Bible. All of that is there. So we can only conclude one thing, that the Bible is true, brother.
That's right.
The Bible, not only is the Bible true, and it gives us wisdom and understanding how things happen and play out, but it also can give us insight on what is to happen. And we're going to get some insight on that. Some insight on that, man. We'll get some insight on how this works. Exodus 23:7 real quick.
Come on.
Hold up. How did the feed look? The feed look all right? I'm having a little internet issue earlier.
We good on Facebook.
Facebook look okay.
We good on YouTube.
See if I get that feed. Okay. All right, let's get that scripture.
Come.
Scripture, we're gonna bang it out here, man. The scripture is so powerful, man. It's insane. Shane, take me off my feet. Daru Vignaraja, man. And black people have him as the front runner when he so blatantly said that I'm going to criminalize the buckets and the squeegees that they have. And we still simple enough not to understand what that means. You know what that means, black man? You can be coming out your house in the morning. with a squeegee to knock the ice off your damn windows. The police can legally pull you up and terrorize you for having that squeegee. Even though, of course, they know you have nothing to do with squeegeeing on the streets. You going to work. You ain't got a damn thing to do with being on no corner trying to squeegee no damn body. You got a car. But they will use that in order to search you. Why? The same way they used stop and frisk. They create criminals with these kind of laws, which it is designed to do. You come out your house with a squeegee, police then came up to you, and how many police then planted drugs on black people in Baltimore? We got over 190 cases. And this was from the disgraced gun task force. 190 some cases that Merlin Mosby declined to prosecute because of the lies of the task force. So we do know police plant dope on black people because they have a quota system. They have this quota system, so they put enough black people in jail. They collect enough bail money in order to sustain the greedy, corrupted needs of white supremacy in Baltimore that black people engage in. Yeah, Baltimore was corrupt way before black people started being mayors. And I'm going to tell you about the disgusting comments of black people, too. We're going to get that, too. Let's get this scripture, bro.
Exodus chapter 23, verse 7. Mm-hmm. Keep thee far from a false matter.
Keep thee far from a false matter. It's a false matter. A false matter is these bastards planting dope on black people. That's a false matter. A false matter is you telling people, I want to make Baltimore better, but you know that you have to make Baltimore better for white people, for Arabs, for East Indians, for Chinese. That's a false matter. The Lord is saying don't enter in that. Whenever we running for mayor, running for city council, we have to take care of the needs of the society that's in charge. We're not taking care of the needs of black people. Black people are the ones exploited. We're there to take care of the needs of the ruling class of people. And they want to exploit black people more. They want more black kids. They want more black kids dead. Why? First of all, black man, they like your dead organs. Did you know that? You know white people like your dead organs, black man? Take your dead goddamn organs, man. Look, we know of some high-profile cases, very high profile, of brothers that have been found with their organs missing. We also got 60,000 black women in America. Some of them have been found with their organs missing. I'm not a goddamn conspiracy theorist, but I do know this. Modern medical technology can revitalize your dead organs. That is a fact. That is a fact in this day. They can revitalize those dead organs. You don't have to be alive to be a donor. You don't. It just has to be an amount of time that those organs are still viable. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm not. I don't read into a lot of things, but I do know this. It's a lot of dead black people coming out of Baltimore. And the police department solved less than 30% of murders in the black community. See, we don't know that because they tell us that black on black crime, black. So we assume that all the murders are black people from black people. They only solved 30% of the murders. How the hell do they know the race of the other people? The reason they do that is that when that murder happens in a black community, that's automatically the consensus. And that's why that number is at 90%. And what we don't realize is that white people is in the high 80% of white people that kill white people. And that's a true number. How do we know that? Because they solve more than 80% of white murders. So they know who's murdering white people. It's white people. White people murder white people. But why is that not a staple of conversation? Nobody ever says that. Your problem is white on white crime. This is all the way that propaganda, white propaganda, criminalizes black people. Why? Mass incarceration, privatized prisons. They get paid for every single solitary black man that goes to Hagerstown and work in the fields, raising animals, planting crops, just like you did on a plantation. No damn difference. Except now you creating solar panels, Victoria's Secret, McDonald's wrappers, furniture, uniforms for the military, uniforms for the correctional officers, the police departments, the COs. Yeah. But now you're doing it for a can of tuna a day. I guess that's better than nothing. Read on.
Okay.
Start from the beginning.
Exodus 23, verse 7. Keep thee far from a false man,
Right?
and the innocent and the righteous slay thy not.
And the innocent and the righteous slay thou not. Squeegee boys are innocent, man. Ain't doing nothing to no goddamn body, man. They doing it to get a goddamn zebra cake. What the hell else you want them to do? Federal regulations say they ain't old enough to get a job. They between 10 and 15. You can't get a damn job. We don't own no businesses to put them to work. Again, we don't own no businesses to put them to work. Is he going to ask a Chinaman in the corner store? Can he sweep his store up at night? Chinaman gonna put him the hell out of his store. Is he gonna ask an East Indian? Is he gonna ask an Arab? Good night. The Arab might shoot him. I thought he was gonna rob me. I did it. The Arab might goddamn shoot him. Where you gonna work at? McDonald's? I think not. Is he gonna cut grass? The white man got that locked down. Nobody trusts black children. Where you gonna work at, man? His mother ain't home. She doing drugs. She on smoking weed. They got fentanyl in it. She gotta smoke it every goddamn 4 hours. She don't know why she gotta smoke it every 4 hours. Because it's fentanyl in it. I work in a hospital. There's fentanyl in the weed. You don't overdose on weed, Negro. People are overdosing from smoking weed because they're putting fentanyl in it. Why? What is fentanyl? Synthetic opiate. Why do they put it in the weed? Because it makes you smoke it every 4 hours. You got to keep buying it, or you feel sick. Give me a time check now.
8:03.
Damn, so y'all let me talk too much. Y'all Negroes just terrible. Terrible. Hold on. What scripture we on?
We on Exodus 23, verse 7.
Verse 7.
Come
I
on,
need it. Shoot, go ahead and finish that.
come on. And the innocent and the righteous slay thou not, for I will not justify the wicked.
The Lord don't justify your wicked deeds, man. When you go and be a mayor in a city, man, and you go up in there and you self-serve, and you leave black people to pay more higher prices, you leave black people to suffer, you leave the Lord's people to die and deal with the police department that you over. Like, how do you get a gun task force that's roaming Baltimore, going up in black people's houses and taking their money, going in their safe? And I'm not only talking about people that's breaking the law. I'm talking about law-abiding black people. How does that happen? When you have a black mayor in the office that's over the police department. You know how it happens? Read it again.
From the top.
This is the second part.
Come on. And the innocent and the righteous slay thou not.
The innocent and the righteous slay thou not. Because those people in the office don't give a damn. They in there self-serving. And because they're in there self-serving and don't give a damn what's going on in the street. Look, Catherine Pugh walked through East Baltimore and was like, oh, they living like this? What's that smell? I mean, I thought it was absolutely disgusting how she made a video like that.
Right.
Like, this is your constituency? The people you supposed to be looking after and taking care of? That smell you smelling, it might not be an animal. It might be a dead body in them vacant houses, because that's where Negroes got to live. You slaughtering the innocent. You leaving the innocent to our enemies and allowing them to slaughter us. Baltimore is so goddamn destroyed because these black mayors, they allowed these people to exploit us and destroy us and said nothing about it. Sheila Dixon was too goddamn busy spending cards and goddamn Sheila Dixon was doing the same thing Pew was doing. She had some damn boyfriend that was a contractor who she was getting gifts from, who was charging the city an amazing amount of money. She could have got things done so much cheaper, but it ran up the constructions of the schools in Baltimore, and now the kids can't even get heat and air conditioning. And they out 2-3 days a goddamn year because of what she did back then. Because she didn't give a damn. She allowed us to be slaves. Now, how many Squeegee kids did that create? How many Squeegee kids did these black mayors create because they looked the other way and decided to self-serve instead of taking care of the flock of God and the goddamn position that they was given. They decided to impress white folks by being hard on crime. That's what hard on crime means, suppressing and oppressing black people. That's what it means. That's what it is. When you think of crime in Baltimore, a black face in a hoodie pops into your mind. Arresting, oppressing black people is making Baltimore great. That's what Thurman Vignaraj wants to do. That's what white supremacy demands. Did you finish that? I think we gotta go to one. Hold on. One I really gotta get to. Hold on. It's one of them I really gotta get to. 23-1.
Exodus chapter 23, verse 1. Thou shalt not raise a false report. Put not thy hand in the wicked to be an unrighteous wickedness.
Oh man, that's insane. That's insane. Thou shalt not raise a false report. You go into these public offices. You read that second part again and loud. Read that second part loud.
Put not thy hand with the wicked to be an unrighteous wickedness.
Put not thy hand with the wicked. When you take your hand and put it on that Bible to pledge yourself to the destruction, the mass incarceration, the terrorism of black people, God hates that black man. When you put your hand with the wicked, you know what that means? Yes. Put in all of you don't know nothing about that. What you talking about, man? My man, I know you know. Damn right. Look, when you join in with these people, man, and you put that mind that the Lord gave you, that flavorful mind, because a black man finds ways to do things that everybody can't do. We are special kind of people. The black man mind find ways of getting around things because we always had to. We have always had to be like that. When you put your mind together with doing something wicked for these people, it is wicked to create laws and stipulations to criminalize your own people. That is a wicked thing to do, brother. And you know what they doing. You know what they doing. You're a police officer and you got a quota. And they tell you, don't mess with the soft targets, the whites and the Asians. Go for the hard targets, the blacks and the Hispanics. They're the hard targets, the ones that's easy. Because whenever you get them in front of a jury, they automatically convicted. The commissioner is going to give them a high bail. The city is going to bring in money. Nobody's going to believe them. Go for those hard targets. Black and Hispanic. When you dealing and those type of things, man, you make yourself just as culpable for the destruction of black people as white people. You make yourself just as culpable, man. You have to deal with that. You have to pay for that. Bro, whenever you join their society, you have to You have to deal with the goals of their society. What is the goals of Baltimore? The goals of Baltimore are the same goals as New York, as DC. Now you seen what happened to DC. They gentrified it. DC used to be chocolate city, brother. It used to be a very thriving black community in the 80s. It was very thriving. It was crime, stabbings here, stabbings there. Wasn't shootings all the time every goddamn week. You had the go-go, you had the freak fest, you know what I'm saying? But you also had good black people living and having some prosperity because we had businesses. And we were able to bring our money together for certain things. Like the kids had breakfast in the morning. The kids could go to the rec centers and get a lunch. I remember, because I grew up in Cherry Hill, man. Cherry Hill homes down there in South Baltimore. We had something called box lunches. We had the peach, you know, the sandwich, all that in there. And when we got out of school, we could go to the rec center for free. For free. It was people in there that ran the recs and they coached the basketball games. They made us run. By the time we got home, we had our homework done. We was tired as hell and we went on it. And our parents was happy. We wasn't running no damn streets. You understand? The people in that rec center made sure the homework was done, made sure you ran your black behind and was tired out so you ain't go run damn streets.
Gotcha.
You understand? The dope came in, the despair came in, and the businesses left. There was no more box lunches. They shut down all of the rec centers. That made the Squeegee kids. You in turn failed those kids. To make up for your failure, you want to criminalize them, put them in prison. You're making more crime. What's going to happen once you start locking them Squeegee kids up? You think they're going to have a good life, a better life? They're going to get institutionalized. They're going to get hard because they're not going to understand why society is doing this to them. They don't have a win. I don't have a mother. I don't have a father. I don't have a stable home. I tried to go out here and do this without robbing no goddamn body, without selling no damn dope, and you put me in jail for a squeegee? You creating crime. This is what black people don't understand in Baltimore. And you Negroes, man, you some filthy, disgusting cowards, man. You some goddamn cowards that'll go vote for this piece of garbage that'll do this to black kids.
That's right.
And then have no empathy and no feeling about it at all. Had people on there talking about they should go get a job and just work it. Go get a job and work. Where? Where they gonna work at 12 years old? I saw a little sister, man, I'm trying to tell you, she couldn't have been 9. She couldn't have been 9. I said, baby, please get out the street. Gave her $20. Please get out the street. Please. Read on, brother.
Come on.
I see. Hold on. Wait, you gotta do something? Go ahead. Go ahead, brother. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Come on. Exodus 23, chapter 2. Chapter 23, verse 2. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil.
Matter of fact, you can drop that. I think that's the next verse. I got another one. Did we read 8?
Yeah.
I'm finna deal with you. And wait till I get off this stage. Yeah, you know it. You know it. Did we get 8?
Verse 2 was like a nice one for both. if I could.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil.
Mm-hmm.
Neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline any after many to rush judgment.
Mm.
I just feel like
that ain't really the part of voting, but to follow a multitude, you can't put that to that, because a lot of black people they just vote Democratic, because in their mind they feel that the Democratic Party is somehow empathetic to black people. It is not. The Democratic Party is the most racist party in America. So racist, in fact, let me tell you something. Bill Clinton, who they call the first black president, who they built a wax statue to, it is in a wax museum. Seriously, him blowing a saxophone, playing the blues. What the hell does a white man know about the blues? The blues is a manifestation of the terrorism we had to deal with in this country from white supremacy. We had to find a way to bring out our artistry in a musical way to try to deal with the psychological effects of being murdered by these bastards. The blues, man, was our way of dealing with the constant terrorism of white imperialism. I'm gonna tell you something, man. You go look up that song, Strange Fruit. You go online and you look that song up, and I'm gonna tell you where the song Strange Fruit comes from. And it goes something to the effect of strange fruit hanging from the popple tree. That strange fruit was your mother and your father hanging from a popple tree. And look, this is how devilish white folks are. They'll castrate your father, leave him on the tree by the path that you walk to school on. So you have to walk past him every day and watch his face disintegrate. And you want to tell me they ain't the devil? You gotta, this is a child now. Why did they terrorize us so fully and so directly, brother? You know why they did that? So that we would not rise up against them. So that we understood what was waiting for us if we rebelled. That's the reason for terrorizing. That's the reason for police brutality. It's to keep you in a certain place, so you do not rebel or think about rebelling, or they're going to do something so horrific to you that you're going to wish you hadn't. I remember Gabara Carr sent out some crazy, horrific picture of some dogs chewing off a man's genital.
Oh, man.
And Gabara Carr wrote, I know he wish he shouldn't have did that. Well, guess what? White folks used to do that to us. They would light us on fire, cut off our genitals. That they were so macabre with it. They would cut off our genitals and put them in a jar and pickle them with a bit of whiskey. I'm just telling the truth, man. These are not lies. This is the truth. People can't handle the truth. They used to cut off our genitals and pickle them with whiskey and leave them on their damn mantle to terrorize us. God dang. We want to love. We want equality. We don't even understand what equality mean or what it look like. We never took a 2 minutes to think, what does equality look like? What does it mean to be equal? The war. Lord, refresh me, brother. All right, brother. You got more on that scripture? Did we finish that? It's almost 8:30. Cut it down in a minute. We got any questions? Anything online? Any questions in the class? You had a question. What you asked me, man? How you know if you a prophet, right?
How do you know if you are called to be a priest and prophet?
And where does that fire come from in a prophet? Where that come? Where you get that from? I got you. I'm gonna take care of that. Any other questions? Anything? Any questions online? Go ahead.
Live, so I ain't no questions online.
I
had a question. I want to ask about, because it was heavy what you bringing about how they take out organs, and sometimes we don't even have to be dead. So like live, so like even when I got my license or my ID, like even being ignorant to so much, I always want to not put that I was an organ donor, because I always felt like to revive me or save me, that they wouldn't. So,
absolutely.
Like when it comes to the scripture that says, trust the physician.
It does.
How does, how does that fit into what today's medicine or today's doctors or physicians would do when we trust them? If that's, that's the society that we live in.
Mm-hmm. Well, you right. You got to take into account of the society that we live in. All right. You got to take into account the context of every scripture is important. All right. The context of it is absolutely important, and you got to understand the world that we're in right now. When it talks about the physician, there's a difference between a physician of your own nation and, of course, a physician from another nation. So you have to be very diligent whenever you're dealing with your enemy. Why? You have to be diligent. Give me Ecclesiasticus 12:10. Ecclesiasticus 12:10. Ecclesiasticus and the Apocrypha. 12:10. Because we gotta understand the context of what these scriptures is talking about. Once you get the context, then you can better understand what's going on.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 12, verse 17, right, sir?
12:10. Actually, 12:10.
12:10.
Yeah.
Come. Mm-hmm. Never trust thy enemy.
It says what?
Never trust thy enemy.
You got to understand, the world that we live in right now was created by our enemies. And when you understand that the world was created by our enemies, now we got to do our due diligence on everything. Because I'm going to tell you something. You can go to a physician. That physician wants to do surgery on you. Why? I work at a hospital, brother. I'm just trying to give you some practical knowledge. And what the brother said was true. Say it again. Money. That doctor wants to do surgery on you, meaning to cut you. Why? Because he makes more than 7% more cutting you as opposed to giving you an organic treatment or some other type of holistic treatment. All right? Cutting you makes him a lot more money. You understand? So you got to do your due diligence to understand that what is the best treatment for me. So black people in America, yes, you have to do your research. You have to know how to Google, Negro. You got to Google, you got to research, you got to find out what's wrong with you. You can use them to the best of your ability, meaning you go to that physician and you find out what the hell is wrong with you. And when it comes to your treatment, you got to be 150% involved in dealing with that treatment. Because again, the scriptures say what?
Never trust thine enemy.
Go ahead.
For like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
Look, it's not if he's going to betray you. It's not if he's going to do something wicked to you. It's when. Because that's going to happen. We got to understand the context of the scriptures. That's all. As opposed when you're dealing with your enemy, as opposed when you're dealing with your people. The world we live in right now, the root of it, the root is evil. So we got to be vigilant. We got to be on our toes, man. We got to be soldiers. And that's why you got to follow in the righteousness of the Lord and follow his commandments. So nothing can touch you, brother. If you out here smoking weed and doorway, you're going to get lung cancer and die, man. That's just that. You got to follow in the righteousness of God, brother. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead. You had a question? Oh, Salaki, you had a question?
No, I just.
Oh, let's get to your question. Hold on. Hold on. I had a scripture. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me find it. Give me a second. Give me a time check out.
8:30.
All right. Hold on. Oh, damn. What was that scripture? Man.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Hold on. It's one of my favorite scriptures. One of my favorite scriptures, man. Hold on. All right, give me Jeremiah 1 and 5. Jeremiah 1.
Ew. I got beautiful.
Whenever you ready.
Okay. Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 5. Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee.
Look, the Lord is saying this because we got to understand the cycle of life. And in the cycle of life, the Lord is going to tell you how he makes his profits. The Lord is saying, before, read.
And before thy camest forth out of the
I'll read it over.
Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee.
Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. That's telling us that the Lord is in charge of every conception. All right? That's how we know that life is in that belly. It doesn't start when the heart starts beating, like the white man said. It ain't alive until that heart starts beating so you can abort your baby. You know what I'm saying? The Lord knew you before you were formed, conceived in that belly. Why? Because you've been on the earth many times before. So that spirit has gone into the conceived in that belly. The Lord knows you, and there's more. This gonna go to answering your question, brother. Listen. Go ahead.
And before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee.
Before thou came up out the womb, before you was born, I had already sanctified you. I sanctified you. We're gonna go a little deeper. The Lord is saying, I knew you. I sanctified you. I had a plan for you. I had this plan. I was going to make you better. I was going to make you separate. I was going to make you able to receive.
And I ordained thee.
I what?
Ordained thee.
I ordained thee. I appointed thee. I made a decision for thee. Go ahead.
A prophet.
A what?
A prophet.
A what? A prophet. How do you know you chosen to be a prophet? The Lord ordains you a prophet before you come out of that womb. Every black man in the Isupkbmore prophesied. Why? Why did every preacher in the Christian church prophesy? They not in the pulpit. They don't prophesy in the pulpit. But every man in the Isupkbmore prophesies. They speak, right? Every officer you see up here speak. It's not just me. It's not just Captain Saparia. It's Gabara Carr. You understand? Not the Zol. All of the officers, all of the captains, all of the generals. Why? Read it again.
Okay. On the top, sir.
Oh, the second part, one you just read.
Okay. I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations.
I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. What does the mean? Are you preaching to everybody? What the nations mean? Come on, I got troopers, I got officers. Come on, let's get with it. In the war. Huh? Read it again. Read it to the war again.
Come on, come. And I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations.
Unto who?
The nation.
The who?
The nation.
Who are the nations? Israel. Israel. Why? Why are the nations Israel? And somebody better have a precept. Somebody better have a precept.
Get off.
Somebody better have a precept. I want my precept. Don't raise your hand unless you have a precept. I want a good precept. Double die.
Come on, sir. It says the nations will be scattered in all nations. The precept, Deuteronomy 28:64.
Let me hear.
And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people.
Okay.
From the one end of the earth unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy father have known.
Does it say nations? It says of other people.
Other people, sir.
I like it. There's something better.
Come on.
All right. I need my precept. Anybody? Go ahead. Alzai.
Genesis chapter 10, verse 5.
Let me hear it.
By these were the isle of the Gentiles divided in their lands, everyone after their tongue, after their families.
Lie. That's not it. That's something different. That one up.
Deuteronomy 32 and 8, sir.
Okay, let me hear it.
Deuteronomy 32 and 8.
Uh-huh.
When the Most High divided the nations, their inhabitants, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds.
Something different. Give me Acts 2 and 5. For time's sake. Give me Acts 2 and 5. Acts 2 and 5. Let's get this precept.
Come on,
Let's get this done. This is
Acts.
You talking about, when the Lord is talking about the nations, he's talking about something very specific because he did something very specific. So we got to get the context of that. So if he's talking about the nations, what is he talking about? Is he talking about everybody of every nation? The hell is he talking about? We got to get the context and the precept to prove what nations mean, right? Right? We got the truth. We the home of the truth.
That's
All right, let's read.
Come. Acts chapter 2, verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
And there were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews.
There were who?
Dwelling at Jerusalem Jews.
Jews, the 12 tribes of Israel. You know what I'm saying? When you say Jews, you got to understand the context of the word Jews. It could mean Judah, Benjamin, some of Levi, which was the northern kingdom, or it could mean all Israelites when you're saying Jews. All right? So we gotta understand the context of that. In this context, this is talking about the 12 tribes of Israel. Go ahead.
Jews, devout men.
The what?
Devout men.
Devout men. Go.
Out of every nation.
Out of every nation. The Lord scattered us into every nation. So out of every nation we come out of. So into every nation, if you are teaching, if you are trying to reach Israelites, you have to reach them in every nation. The ISUPK has to reach out to the UK. Do we not have a UK ISUPK? Do we not? Am I lying about this? Do we not have a ISUPK in Jamaica? Do we not have an ISUPK in Tobago, Trinidad and Tobago? Do we not have an ISUPK in New York, in Baltimore, in DC, in Virginia, in Detroit, in Chicago? Out of every nation, huh? We in the West Indies, we in the UK, we in Britain, EU, we in Russia, we everywhere. Read on, brother.
Come. Under heaven, verse 6.
Read it from the beginning.
Come. Acts chapter 2, verse 5. And there were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews, devout men, out of every nation under heaven. Verse 6. Now when this was noised abroad.
You missed something. Go back and read it over again.
Acts chapter 2, verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
And there were dwelling at Jerusalem
Mm-hmm.
Jews,
Mm-hmm.
devout men,
Devout men.
out of every nation,
Out of every nation
under heaven.
under heaven, out of every nation under heaven, we were dispersed. This is the whole point. We were dispersed. We have to come back as a nation. The northern kingdom, the southern kingdom, we have to come back as a nation and accept each other. And when we come back as a nation, we're going to be speaking tongues. We're going to be able to understand each other. We out of every nation. We speaking the language of that nation, but we're going to be able to understand each other. That's tongues. And guess what? Guess what? In April, we having the Passover. I clap it up. This is the 51st Passover, annual Passover, bro. Every Israelite from the globe, every Israelite that's in the truth from the globe is coming back. And this year, something more amazing. Our commanding General Yohana gave the order. Anybody know what the order is?
Oh, God.
Dawudah.
All Israelites to come together.
Say it louder, brother. Louder, brother.
All Israelites to come together.
Give the brother the mic.
For all Israelites to come together.
Commanding General Yohana gave the order for all Israelite groups to come together to the Passover so we can work out the life, the strategy, the viability of black life. Commanding General Yohana gave the order. So don't ever say that the ISUPK is divisive. Just say you're not man enough to deal with what you need to deal with, Negro. Commanding General Yohana has given the order, and I suggest that every church, group, Israelite denomination, if you believe that Christ is the Savior, I suggest that you come to this Passover. If you are a black, a Hispanic, or a Native Indian man, I suggest that you come to this Passover and find out what it is you need to do to further your nation, to bring about heaven on earth for your nation, to stop the rampant, the unempathetic, the barbarism, the terrorism of white imperialism. You come to this Passover. Any questions? Any other questions? Online, in the room? Anything? Did I get your question, brother? Do you need
sir.
All right. Any other questions in the room, online? Anything?
No question online.
With that, I pass the class to Precinct Officer Alazar.
Security announcements. For the ISUPK out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes to the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves with the world. After 6 months, if the brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother or sister will be courted. Brother or sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Titus. It's a commandment. You can find this in Numbers 18:21 and Malachi 3:8-10. It means 10th in Hebrew and is pronounced my Asherah. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming holy convocation. Passover, which is coming up, one brought out. Remind Akim with April 9th. Remind Akim and Aquakim. Check on social media, such as isupkbmore.com, Twitter, and YouTube, and so on for Isupkbmore and material. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he is to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. That will give a courage to me, to the teacher, been in Israel, Mike Shabbat, Rock.
Yahweh Hashem Yahshua.
Yahweh Shem Thumb. Yashmatah. Yashmatah. Black Christmas. Girl,